Welcome to this session of script writing. Today is 18th May and I am recording this session. Before this session, I have told about script writing, like from developing an idea to a story. In the second session, major session, which I discussed about 3-act structure. In the fourth session, yesterday, which was there, I discussed about two things: internal need of the character and mentor. Now there are many newcomers here. If you have not attended those sessions, except the first major session, the video of the next two sessions and this video will also be available on YouTube, or on, you can go to YouTube, Facebook, you can type, you can go to YouTube, you type Nikhil Sablania script writing, and you will see I have a channel, Movie Told, where there are around 70 reviews, short reviews about the web series and films. So you can also watch those reviews and you can easily find the previous videos over there. So we have a lot of people. I do want to know about all of them, but see, this is the time and many of you are eagerly waiting for that. Okay, so I will begin with today's session. I will give a brief summary of what I have discussed in previous sessions. The previous sessions were: one, about idea; two, story. Now briefly I would say idea is a simple 1, 2, 3 line. It should be the basic idea. It should be like suppose I will now I will give examples which I have not given in the previous classes. Now idea is like a rat eating some nuclear waste, becoming a very huge rat, and then we have the population of rats under our sewage system, and then they multiply to thousands or lakhs, and then rather than coming out, because it's their own experience that they will not come out, otherwise men will kill them, they start moving, they make underground like tunnels, and then they move to a larger area, maybe 2 3 states, or maybe to whole country. And by the time human beings found. Now why I have chosen this idea of rats? Because scientists says that rats have very good mind, and the mind of rat is, we can say, after human being, and it is a scientific theory. So scientific theory is my research. So when you are developing an idea, you should also watch so many things, read the books, and watch Discovery Channel and watch the National Geographic Channel. Also read about history and politics, and they will be also helpful to you. So when you are developing those ideas will come from there. They may be futuristic ideas. You may be perceiving into the future. We see dreams. We also say something which is called deja vu, that we perceive that, yeah, I have seen this thing somewhere, and which has actually happened into the future. And you can see that same ideas come to the mind of different people at different places, but at the same time, or in a very shorter period of time. So somewhere these ideas are coming from the future, I think so. And when you go through all these things, your mind starts working. Mind, which is the most beautiful part in the universe, and which you have, and particularly human beings have. So the idea now which I have given you, you think about other ideas. So idea should be the basic thing, which is a 1, 2, or 3 line idea. Some people call it logline. The question which was asked was that how to develop a logline into a script. Now logline into a script is a long way. Once you have a logline, that is your basic idea of 1, 2, or 3 lines, you develop that into a 2-page story. I'm talking about a movie. Or even if you are making a web series, 2 pages short synopsis. Even it is a movie, even it is a web series, make it to a 2-page short synopsis. From 2-page short synopsis, if it is a movie, make a 5-page long story. That is also called treatment. So first 2 pages, from idea to a short synopsis or a story, then 5 pages, and then after 5 pages, if it is a web series, then develop it into, now that is your first season. Suppose you are writing season 1, these 2 pages and then 5 pages are your first season. Okay, so up to 5 pages it remains the same for a movie or a web series. Now from those 5 pages, for a movie, you type your step outline, and these pages doesn't mean that you are writing something with your hand. These pages means you are typing on A4 size paper on your computer with font size of 12. For a film, then you start writing step outline. Step outline is a kind of like you are writing an essay. So you write in steps. You write in steps. So this is like step that a family moves to a new house. This is a kind of step. The next step, there are two boys. They meet new friends. Next step, they have a very like some neighbors are jealous of them because they are far better than next step. So but these things should come in terms of actions, not in just in terms of dialogues. So this is what I said in the last class, that in a movie action speaks louder than the words. Your actions must be shown. Now, how to introduce the character? Another question asked by Ranjit is how to introduce the character. Characters should be introduced in the first 15 minutes of the movie. In the when it comes to web series, see, I tell you from my own experience, I wrote the first episode. Now, first episode is also called pilot episode. The first episode is also called the pilot episodes. Sometimes the big companies wants you to shoot the pilot episode and then come and show that. So your pilot episode is very important. That's why I would suggest, I would not say that keep the limit of introducing 15 minutes, like introducing all the characters in 10 to 15 minutes as in the movies, but yes, at least in the first episode give hint of all the characters in the first episode of your web series, because first episode is the major episode which there are many people who are avid watcher, and they watch a lot, and when they see the first episode, after then they also wants to watch it or not, it's up to them. So remember this thing, when you are writing the first episode it should be beautiful, but considering that, it doesn't mean that you don't write the other episodes with the same honesty. Honesty is very important in any work. So whenever you are writing, write with honesty. I mean, I tell you, I will come to this honesty part. Now, in the first episode is a pilot episode, you introduce your characters. Not in the, suppose you are writing a 40 minutes, like, so you may introduce in the 30th minute some characters in the 30th minutes. No need to introduce in the first 15 or, but in films, try to introduce in the very beginning of the film. Then I told about the concept called hook, about which very many people are familiar, and the 3x structure. Now, what is a hook? For the newcomers, hook is the turning point in a story, a turning point in a movie. That is called hook. Okay, suppose I am going, it is a group of college goers, they are going to a picnic, and suppose they met a yeti over there, snowman over there, and snowman picks some kids, and then this is the hook. Now where are the kids? Then the police comes, the villagers comes, and the story moves on. So that point is called hook, which makes the audience into the story and which will move the story. And in films there is something called 3 act structure. 3 act means the 3 parts of a script. When we are writing this web series, the 3 act structure enlarges into the whole, first into the whole episode, or first into the, sometimes it's into the episode, and or it is into the whole season. Like if there are 6 episodes, 8 episodes, or 10 episodes, then what happens in the 3x structure in the movies is very different to what happens in those episodes, but somewhere it is stressed but differently. Now come to the movie part. So when in a movie, now this 3 act structure, the first act is introduction of the characters, their daily lives, and the problem. And one more thing which I told you, that the thing which would help us, which would help the main character to solve that problem in the end, that thing, that knowledge, or that place, or that character should be introduced in the very beginning of the movie. Yesterday I gave an example. Suppose a paranormal researcher helps a guy, the or main character, to get rid away from a ghost. Now this should have been introduced in the very beginning and come in the end to help, but to help, not to take the command of the story. He should be like a guide or a mentor. Things, suppose there is a movie of a psychopath killing woman, okay, and a woman is fond of, now another interesting idea, a woman who is fond of eating, like who is fond of making dishes, like she is fond of cooking, and she has a list of various knives and she buys knives. Okay, so we show her now how to introduce the characters. This was also asked, and I will give another good example of this from another movie. So now take this example: a woman who is fond of who is fond of cooking, and she likes like buying knives. She likes buying dishes, and she likes buying boxes or new things which are coming to the market, which deals with the kitchen or which deals with the recipes. And we show that in the beginning. We show her character in the beginning with this thing. Okay, and suppose she keeps those knives in her drawer or at some secluded places, so that she will later on come to that place and take out them and use them whatever way. And now that action takes place in the end to that secluded place or that place, and suddenly she realized that oh yeah, I kept my knives over there, and she took out that knife, and that helps her killing the psychopath. So this is one example which I have given you. You can think of another examples when you watch movies, particularly when you watch nowadays. This thing you can see in the Indian movies, but earlier it wasn't there actually. So we, because all people they don't learn, and there was no opportunity of learning also. So now when you are like writing your own script, then you introduce this thing. Either it is a place, either it is a character, either it is a thing which will help the main character in fighting with. Sometimes what happens, particularly if you watch movies of Disney, and particularly the animation movies of Disney. In these movies, you watch them, animation movies of Disney's. In these movies, you will see that they are characters who appear in the very beginning, and they are characters who are like in the characters who are having some emotional issue or some other fight with the other characters, and these characters later on come to help our main character to get that thing solved. So first part is introduction of main characters, introduction of their daily lives, and introduction of uh, problem, and apart from that introduction of this thing which will help to solve the problem. What is the second part? The second part and ending. See, all parts are crucial. All parts are crucial. For me, ending is very crucial, because it is the ending, it is the end moments which makes they are even in the films also, in series also, ending they, because what happens that when you are writing, even when you are shooting, when the end comes, you get exhausted with the ideas. You get totally exhausted with the ideas. You get totally exhausted. You want to finish it, because there might be chances that you don't, if you don't finish it, that script lying there in your computer for many years. So it is very important to finish the script, and but with that it's also important to change the ending if it is not good, or to work more on the ending. Now ending is the third act, and the middle act is the second act. Now in a film of 120 minutes, first act 30 minutes, last act 30 minutes, and the middle act is 60 minutes. But I would say that don't restrict yourself, but if you are to the timing of the film. But if you want to send your film for consideration into the America, then you can make a longer you can, and then you have to write it to 20 minutes. But if you are if someone asks you to write a story, don't restrict yourself, I would say that particularly in Indian scenario, we love watching long films, and many long films have worked. Even though they were not good, but they have worked. So don't restrict yourself and take this as a ratio. Think about it as a ratio part, and likewise you divide your first act, second act, and third act. So these three acts, three structures are considered as three structures, and we had Santosh with us, who was also like in the last three classes. I think he came and he asked about the three five act structure. I read about it, but I will come to that later on. That is not important. He also said if he is here, so I would like to tell him or to other people also. He said that many people who are into the production, they ask about the five act structure, but from my experience I tell you that there are very few people who can write a script, good script, and those who are into production, there are very few people who can understand even the 3x structure. So don't worry if someone says I want 5x structure, keep it in mind, this person, this guy is having no knowledge about script writing. Okay, how I will judge a script writer? I will ask that script writer, okay, how many scripts you have written? That would be my first question. Okay, have you written it in a proper format? How many pages each script? That is my question, because once you reach to that level that you could write 120 pages, 150 pages, and you have written 10 scripts, then I would say, yeah, he knows about the script writing. I will never ask the guy that do you know about 2 act, 1 act, or 3 act, because this means I don't know about this thing, and I'm just trying to avoid that guy or trying to show off myself. So don't go with that. Of course I will go through it. Actually I have read about it in my school years, but let's keep that aside. So this was only for one thing which came to my mind later on, that if someone asks you, do you know something, do you have a story in 5 act structure, always think once you have done, but that thinking should have come once you have done your work, once you have written 8 to 10 scripts. Only then, if someone only then you consider yourself to be able to consider that other guy that he knows nothing. Okay, now one more important, yeah, please.
Actually, how many types of narration the story? Straight narration, like sometimes a flashback is going come back.
Pardon?
Then narration, telling the story, narration, types of narration.
Types of narration. See,
Yeah, sometimes straight narration, I'm giving flashback, like that. Sometimes that party is giving flashback.
see, I tell you one thing about the narration part of the story. Okay, let us come to now. I am keeping the what I was telling, keep it aside, and I will come to this question about the narration part of the story. See, story narrations are traditional ways of telling a story, and with my experience, the experience I had, there are various types of people like in the industry. Some people like narration, some people don't like narration, and some people prefer reading too. Then they may give that script to some other guy whom they know, maybe someone in the scripting, and they ask them, please read it, please tell us about this thing. So they don't need narration. Some people are very good at narration. I have a friend, Manjeet. He's an actor and also a writer. And when he narrates, I mean, he narrates wonderfully. But it doesn't matter that everyone needs that narration. I mean, so I personally don't like narration. I want the script in my hands and to read it, and to read it with free mind. Now that is the most important thing. I'm telling you, whether the guy who is either listening your story or whether that person is reading your story, whether he's having that free mind, is he is prepared, because that is a very big question. And even if you read a story and you tell to the, like, suppose I am working with a director, and I'm telling you with my own experience, with my own personal experience, and which was my first work in Bombay. I was working with a very big script writer who became a director. One day he gave me, I wrote, and he was planning for his next movie, and he gave me the script and asked me to write scheduling for that, like night shots are there, how many day shots are there, evening shots. I did that whole part. And then one day he asked me. He was very nice to me. He used to took me to his home, gave me breakfast also, and but somewhere ego works, and that spoils us. I mean, spoils everyone. So one day he asked me that go and read the story, and if there is any shortcomings in the story, please tell me. And I told him that see, sir, this thing is not working, and the comedy is not coming. It was a comedy movie. The humor is not coming, and the lead actor is going somewhere, is losing with the, because he had a very big actor, but he was a character artist. So I said this character which a very big artist will play is overshadowing our main actor, and this shouldn't happen in the story. The moment he heard that, his reply was, if you don't like the story, why you are working with me? Now what kind of this nonsense answer you are giving to someone? At that time, I think it was year 2007. By 2007, I had already spent 11 years into theater, into films, to go to festival. And after my 11 years of experience, this kind of answer, if a director gives me, what will you think about that director? So you could become a big, because maybe you have written something good, or you had, but this is not a professional way. So now the answer comes, now who needs the narration? Suppose your friend is a good actor, and he knows that you are a good writer. He will ask you, please give me some story. Then one day he will meet you and he say, okay, tell me the story in a short. Okay, this. So narration is very subjective matter. How you narrate, now for me it's not important. One day I told you, I tell you my another experience. One day tell my, like I told my story to a group of friends, and they were all from film schools, and they were like, now they are, some of them are very big into their respective fields. They were not directors, or all were writers. Some were cinematographers, someone sound recorders. When I told them that story, they laughed. They laughed without any mercy on me. But if you ask them to write something funny, they won't be able to write. So this is the problem, that ego is a very major problem, and it is a major problem that films doesn't work, because they don't put uh, proper honesty to the work, or proper honesty with the colleagues whom they are working. So narration, you can narrate, like if you want. Actually, someone who is asking for a narration, for me that guy is not into the films, frankly speaking. If someone asks me,
So I heard about linear and non-linear.
see, that is a
Sometimes
different thing. That's not, no. That is not narration. That is a structure you want to make. Whether you want to make a linear means,
structure.
yeah, that is structure.
That's my question actually.
Okay, that is structure. Very good thing. So narration is something different, I
How
think.
many?
Yeah.
That's what I want to ask. Actually, how many types of structure is there?
See,
That's what
yeah, I
need
tell
the
you.
narration.
See, as much as you can write, and as much as that could work, it's up to you. In books, if I am a writer, if I am writing a book, I will watch some movies, I will say, okay, I will make the structures, and I will write, okay, there are three types of structure, four. But no, it's not like that. Now first let us come to the point, that what is a structure. Okay, now linear structure, as you said, linear means line, one line going. Simply I would say, story is moving forward. But within that story, which moves forward, there has to be some backstory, and that backstory is another concept of the writing, to which I will come later on in this class, as he has asked. Okay, so all of you here, now I started with idea to a story, 3 act structures, and you can go to previous classes, or maybe I will take some other classes about them. First act 30 minutes, second act 60 minutes, and then 30 minutes for a feature film. For a web series, 30 minutes is the good time period. Don't write less than 30 minutes. I mean, within 30 minutes to 55 minutes. Don't stretch it more than 55 minutes. That is my personal experience. Now, what he has asked is about the structure, another structure. I mean, 3x structure. What is 3x structure? It is based on the hero's journey. Hero's journey is that hero could be anyone, it could be a person, animal, robot. Hero is or the main character who is going to solve this problem, simply said. Okay, Jay and Viru are hero. They are going to solve. They are going to kill the Gabbar. Okay, that is the whole thing, and they have other characters and all those things. And if you have seen Seven Samurai, then Seven Samurais will come and they will help to get away with the bandits. This is the protagonists are those seven samurais. Some of them will die, or all of them will die, and some of them will survive. That is another thing. Now come to the, this is 3 act structure. This is hero journey. The journey, the struggle of our main characters to solve that problem. In the second act, we will introduce, after introduction of that problem. In the second act, it seems that problem is gone, but it comes back again. It haunts them to such a level that at the end of the second act, it is a matter of fight and flight with the main characters. In the third act, they go to the battlefield, or they try to deal with that problem whatever way they choose. Now come to the structure part, which he has asked. And yeah, it was something which I read actually, but nowadays if you watch the web series particularly, then there are a lot of structures you can watch. And web series have I will talk about this thing, very important thing. Now let me talk about the structure part, particularly in the web series. In films, it doesn't matter. Films, one action, like there could be various, like at a particular time, suppose at a particular, I'll give you one example, actions taking at 3 places, then it's into the 3 directions. They are, but structure remains, the whole structure remains the same, which is based on hero journey. If it is on that hero journey, I gave exceptions, 2 examples of exceptions to hero journey, and those exceptions are biographicals like Forrest Gump, and the Terminus is also there. So there are some exceptions to this hero journey, that there is a long battle and then there is some problem and he will go fight. Fight doesn't mean the hand fight or weapon fight. It could be any way of resolving that problem. In films, what happens that sometimes actions takes place 2-3 places, but it's not that always you write that into your script. It is sometimes editors do that for a better like attention. But now once you are familiar that once I am writing, I can take actions of the 3 places at the same time. Now I give you one example. Yesterday I was writing a scene where there is a paranormal researcher and he's going to a building. He's going to a building to check that what problem is there. At the same time, there is another paranormal researcher, and they both are competitors. His wife is having a dream that she and her husband, they are also into that building because they are getting contract of that building. They are also going into that building and they are doing their own research. So I started writing like this. First scene, now the scene opens that this first guy moves into that building on the ground floor. Next scene, those 2 husband and wives, which are other researchers, they are coming on the first floor. Now they both are moving. We can say they are not linear, they are parallel. But then cut, and then we see that it was a dream that she was watching. Or suppose there are 3 teams. Suppose it is a scene of army, like army scene, and there are 3 teams separated. Okay, one has to go to church to fight with the enemies. Another will go to a village to fight with the enemies, and one will go to some parliament to capture the parliament. It is a very messy scene. So I will write one of this scene, another of that scene, another of that scene. That is a one way of writing non-linear structure. But somewhere they are linear. Now how to make them actual non-linear? Now what is a non-linear? It is a concept of editing. When editing came and linear, non-linear concepts came. Now it is a simple that suppose I am writing something about present time. Okay, I will give you example. Suppose I am a priest and I am working on some issue, like there maybe I am constructing a temple and some people have come, but something happened in the past is affecting me and I am going back to that past. So I am in the script, I am writing about the present scene also, and suppose I dedicate a whole episode to that present, and from that present from that past I will dedicate a whole episode, next episode, to the past. What changed me in the present time, in the past time, that I am doing so in the present time? What changed me in the past time that I am doing the same thing in the present time? So this is a non-linear structure, and this you can jump to the three ways. And of course we are living in the three times: past, present, in the present, actions at various places, and future. Sometimes you may move to the future and then come to the past. And this you will learn not just theoretically, this you will learn when you watch a lot of things. And when after watching is one part, watching is one part, when you come to the writing, and when you are writing your story, the first two pages for either web series or for either this thing, your movie, when you are writing those first two pages, at that time you think about this thing, that whether I will tell these things in the linear way, in a straight way, or whether I will move forward, backwards story into that, or mix up the stories. Maybe sometimes there are examples like three characters in three different countries having three different stories, and in the end they all meet, or not meet, but they meet the same destiny. The ending is very similar, or sometimes ending is like this: one is having one ending and another effect. One is, but the emotional content remains the same. So something this you can also do. It became actually very popular around 15 years back, and from with European cinema, and now you can use. But when you are writing a film, and now I will come to the backstory. I think I am clear to you. So when you are writing a story for a movie, there is something called backstory. Now, what is a backstory? Backstory is something that happened to me, the main character, or to the other characters in the past. And that is why we are so, because we are. Now, here I would include the psychology. In psychology, you say that there are many people who go to the police as a profession, who go to the lawyers as profession, because they faced some injustice in their lives when they were kids. Bilari, the language, like the writing language of for the blind people, that was developed by a person who was already blind. So you can also read some psychological books of psychology, to understand that why people become so. But apart from that, you can also perceive the world, you can look at the world, and now that you can use to build up your character. Now within the character, Ranjit asked about the introduction of the characters. I gave him that, but apart from introduction of characters, there are so many things within the characters. And even if you have a very catchy idea, and even if you have a very strong story, characterization is also important. Now I will give a break here, and I will ask if someone else wants to ask something. You can ask me, then I will proceed. Please, you can type or you can come here directly and you can ask. The best movie script for you. One is asked by Mr. R. Rajkumar Yadav ji, and another is Bhavit Vigne ji. He has asked, I think it is point of view. Okay, this is the best movie script for you. Okay, is it compulsory to write a story act wise? Okay, these three questions have come. First, I will take on what is a best movie script for you. See, best movie script for me is depends upon my exposure to cinema, my exposure to cinema's commercial aspect also, and my exposure to cinema's artistic cinema's exposure to also. And it's good for me. I mean, you want to ask me as a writer, as a producer, as a director, I would say it depends upon my knowledge of cinema. What is good for me? For people, what is good? As I said in the last class, the story which will give you something in the ending. I gave an example of Mary Magdalene in the last class. if you are watching a horror movie and in the end you are satisfied that got I got the feeling of fear, my adrenal moved, my hormones moved, my body moved, and I was shocked to watch the sequences in the film, then something you have given and it is a good story. That is a good story. Sometimes if it is a social movie and it motivates you, People versus Larry Flint. People versus Larry Flint, if you watch, there are many good court dramas, courtroom dramas in America. People versus Larry Flint is one of such drama which I watch and it's favorite of many other filmmakers. If you watch that, you will be moved. So it is a good script. Now come to the next question. Okay, is it compulsory to write? And one Asmita Khanna has asked Khanal, how will we know that our script is ready for shoot after doing rewriting many times? How? Okay. One more question has come. Linear narratives, non-linear narrative, interactive narration, and interactive narration. Please give me example movies. Okay. Sir, are you in Mumbai now? Okay. I am not in Mumbai, I am in Delhi. I work in Mumbai. I sometimes visit Mumbai for work, but my home place is Delhi. Okay. Okay. Thagawal has given me that line of linear narrative, non-linear narrative. See, non-linear narrative and interactive narrative and in interactive narrative. How will you know that your script is ready for shoot? Is it compulsory to write a story act wise? Okay. First, I will take this question. Is it important to write the story act wise? I would say yes, definitely. It is important. You can say 2 act, 3 act, whatever. But yeah, act wise means actually this is the whole thing. See, it is a 2 hour show. You forget about movies. You think about the circus times when circus was there, when magicians used to play, or when there is some Madariya street player, how he comes, how I am taking this class. There is definitely a structure in my class. So of course that structure should be there. 3x structure is the in you will find in the 99% or say 95% movies, 99%. And I also said that keep this thing very importantly, keep the commercial aspect, because without commercial aspect you won't get your script to be produced. Now you can't be egoistic, say I don't consider about any commercial aspect, then put your money. And how many people, give me example of how many people throughout their lives have put their money to the movies which people didn't want to watch. So this is, and how many people could do that? I mean, I could do that, but how many actually people could do that? And what is the purpose of such movies? Because movies came at the time when cinema was a bigger and people in clouds they went and they started watching. It is a kind of community work. I mean, it's a kind of communion. You go and you watch, and in different cultures different types of movies have been produced, so it is a kind of community thing. And so I hope I have given this answer to this question. So is it compulsory to write a story structure wise? Compulsory I won't say, but yes, you should write it. Keep that structure in your mind. I mean, keep that structure in your mind, because that's very important. If you don't keep the structure in your mind, the result won't come. But as I also said, if you look at Forrest Gump or some biographicals, and where they are like episodics, they are not into that structure. The structure is not there, but of course there are episodes. Apart from those episodes, there is something like tempo in those episodes. The episodes goes from lower tone to higher tone. It increases. It increases. Suppose, like in Forrest Gump, his maturity increases, his strength increases, his love increases, his money increases, his confidence increases. It's one thing. It's one thing of a particular character. But even if you are writing something, there is some tempo like a music. It should heighten our emotion. It should heighten our emotion. Now next question is, how will we know that our script is ready now for shoot after doing rewrite many times? See, rewrite is one thing where you could also destroy your script. Now what is a rewrite? I write a whole script and then I make changes and keep making changes, but sometimes you destroy it, and many of the times actually rewrite is asked when the ending is not happy, and many writers say no, I will keep this ending, it is happy. Here I would say that don't stick yourself to this notion of keeping sad, that I will not change my sad ending or so. If it is happy, if someone is experienced, experience, not commercial experience, like not with commercial success but into the academics of films, and if he says so that keep change the ending, I don't like, because he is watching movies for many years or something, so you change it. Don't do so many changes when you are rewriting. See, your first structure of your story, your first screenplay is a golden work, and it had all the original ideas that have come to your mind, so that is very good. But if you want to change, I would say don't make changes more than 10% in a script. I changed one script. I wrote an adaptation of Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, and then I wanted to give that for, actually I personally, but it was also that I didn't like Anna to be killed in the end, which is in the actual novel. I never liked that. That why should a woman who suffers should be killed? I mean, there could be, and for me it's a very bad thing that a woman already suffered and that she got killed, which was there. I changed it. She was never. And I was asking to my teacher that I was in the film school at that time. Started that in 2005, and one of our teacher, I was showing the script outlines, step outlines to the teacher, and she also said that if you want to do so much change, and why you are adapting this novel to a script, and that thing haunts me. But if someone says so, I would say that never restrict yourself, go with your instincts. I didn't like Anna to be killed, why should I kill? For me it's, and also commercially also, like, so when but I made it, I moved it further, rather than just not being killed in the end. What I did, I moved it further, that Anna will win her love. She's a married woman, but in my story, it's not that she is not killed in the end. I moved it further, that I showed that the lover's love was true. Lover's love was true. And when the husband was wrong, he was wrong and he was wrong. So I moved it further to show that, because when I read this novel, I found that a guy who was a bachelor, once he falls in love with a married woman, and he's fighting with the whole world. So how can you say that there are mistakes in that lover? And yesterday I was watching, I told about this thing. There's a very good program going on Netflix about beasts and all those things, and they told about this thing. Even the Leo Tolstoy, which wrote Anna Karenina 200 years ago. Now this story was not many people consider this as a revolutionary novel, or a novel which was written during the Soviet era, or I mean, it was written during the time when which lead to the Bolshevik movement, and it's so like. But this actually, if you look at this story, there is nothing revolutionary in it. This story is a kind of adaptation which was already there in the Europe for 200 years, because it is considered, which I saw, that women, same story is already there in the folks, that a wife, already you are being already wife, and if you love someone, you will never get success in that love, and you have to come to the story, you have come to the society. But I changed it, and because I had to send to a very big actress, I changed that ending. So keep this thing in mind. I mean, lost there are a lot of questions. Is it compulsory to write a story act? Okay, that our story script is ready now to shoot after doing rewriting. So this rewriting I did 2-3 times, and then I sent it. Okay. Okay, sir, please clarify 3 act structure in brief and whether this is applicable in movies, web series, documentaries, etc. And if possible, would request you to provide every session's link so that in case we miss. Okay, I have started uploading these lessons on YouTube. You can go and watch it on YouTube. I could have easily made, but see, when you are coming to this now, there is an importance of this class. When you are coming here, we I am there present with you. I mean, my mind is there with you. We are sitting at various places, and also it makes a discipline for me also and for you also. So don't think that I will go and watch it on YouTube. It's already there. I will put it as a resource for those people who don't have time to come at this time. But if you have time, then come particularly at this time. Coming to the uploaded, you send me a WhatsApp on 85275333051, 85275333051, and you send me a request, a message, and I will send you link of that. The name of the channel is on YouTube is Movie Troll and Netflix Reviews. Movie Troll and Netflix Reviews. So that channel you can go and now coming to this question about types of narrative structures that I have asked. I would suggest that don't go into such terminologies. If you go to the terminologies, you won't be able to write. You watch what is going on in TV. You watch Netflix. You watch. Now, with this, I would like to give one example of a web series which was there on Hotstar. It was on Hotstar Prime. Its name is The Leftovers. So this Leftovers is very interesting, but it is also culturally rooted. And if you look at another story of Netflix, which is on the story of Osho, I mean, if you see the story of Osho on Netflix, it's that Leftover is very much based on the story of Osho. So what happened? Like he was trying to build another city, and same narrative structure is there. Now, I like that. I had no idea that earlier that when I was watching it that it's based on the story of Osho in America. But if you look at this web series Leftover, in its structure, it has each episode. I mean, there are two things going on in this series. It started with a certain point, and then it started moving forward, and with that movement, incidents are happening. Okay, but we also go to the past lives of the characters, and suppose there are 10 episodes in the first season, 10 episodes of 40 to 50 minutes each. Then one episode I see story move little bit forward, and then in the next episode I will see the past story of one character, and not only one particular story of that character, but various stories in various episodes. And sometimes these stories don't come in a one season, but they come in the next season, and it's a very, very beautiful structure. About another thing, I mean, it's a very beautiful web series, and it has different structure, which is not a linear. It's not going straight. It's fragmented. I would say fragmented. That's my term to say. Now another series that is on Prime, and that series name is Man in the High Castle. Man in the High Castle. It is one of my favorite web series. And this series is based on the writing by an American writer who is very famous. If you go and on internet and search this writer, and this story reveals, I mean, the plot is interesting, and apart from plot, characterization is also interesting. This story tells about if Germany had won the Second World War, and suppose Germany won with Japan, they divided America into Japanese territory and American territory. But with that, in the another time space, we are living that Germany has lost. So it has two times. Germany.
What is the series name, sir?
Man in the High Castle.
Man in the
High Castle.
I guess.
Yeah. So it doesn't have linear structure. It has very a cobweb kind of structure where story is at the center of the whole structure. It goes into the past. But remember one more thing, that writing non-linear or writing into different, this is apart from 3 act will remain 3 act. Don't take it as 3 act. 3 act, it's hero's journey, a journey which began with, if you have seen that movie, Russell Crowe was there, I think, he was fighting in arena. It came in 1998. So suppose it began with Alexander, who was a common man, and then he became a world king of the almost whole of Europe. So that is the beginning point and ending point, and this remains. Whether it is a web series, in between you can work out on various structures, but keep in mind, audiences, they are not watching to check your acumen. They are not going there to give you marks if you have written that and you have taken a lot of pains to write so much complicated structure.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello, Nikhil Sablani.
yeah.
I think the movie was The Gladiator.
Gladiator, yeah. So that movie of Russell Crowe was Gladiator, where he started. He was into the army, and then Gladiator. If you have not watch it. Very beautiful movie. And we know the guy who played Commodus in that movie. Recently, his movie came Joker, and he has also played as Jesus Christ in the movie Mary Magdalene. I'm forgetting his name. Some difficult for me to remember those names. But so story remains in that structure. A normal life, a call for adventure. A normal life, a problem comes, a call for adventure, and the hero or the protagonist wins. And within that, you can try to write it into the past, future, but keeping that thing in mind, whether it is not putting so much pressure on the audience. And don't go with terms, go with what is there coming. Be practical. Just look what is coming on TV. So I am finishing this about 3 act structure. Please send me WhatsApp. I am finishing this here. I hope I have made clear many things to all of you. Thank you very much for coming. And this link, you keep this link saved in your WhatsApp. This will be a permanent link. And if you add it to your Gmail account, Google account, every day you will get reminder. If you don't get reminder, then send me message. And thank you very much. And any questions, any queries, please send me on WhatsApp or my email. I have sent my WhatsApp. So next class I will take tomorrow, hopefully, if I could. Thank you very much.